When I think of Blackpink, one word comes to mind: strategy. From the moment they debuted under YG Entertainment, it was clear that this wasn't just another K-pop girl group. Blackpink was a blueprint for global domination. Every performance, every silence, every marketing move, it all felt like a calculated part of something bigger. And now, even with each member branching out as solo artists, that strategy hasn't disappeared, it simply evolved, and we have to talk about it. In 2024, all Blackpink members went solo. Lisa, as expected, went first, and did what she does best: take the world by storm. But this wasn't just about going solo. Lisa went global, without waiting for permission. Even before leaving YG, she had already dropped two massive solo hits, Money and Lalisa. Both became viral sensations, earned her a VMA, and solidified her as Blackpink's breakout star. So when the group parted ways with YG, fans expected Lisa to be unstoppable. But what came next took everyone by surprise. In June 2024, Lisa released Rockstar. It was loud, catchy, high energy, and the kind of vibe fans were used to from her earlier tracks. It landed her another VMA and huge stages like the Victoria's Secret show and MTV. But something felt off. Despite its success, Rockstar didn't resonate with a large part of her fanbase. Fans criticized the lyrics, the direction, even her team. I talked about this in a previous video, how Lisa lost 99% of her fans. At first glance, it felt like she was making bad artistic and marketing decisions. But looking back now, I see it differently. Lisa wasn't failing. She was experimenting, strategically. And most fans missed that. You see, in 2024, Lisa flipped the script completely. Instead of giving us the expected Thai idol energy, or trying to stick to the Blackpink formula, she stepped outside the box. She launched her own label, L Loud. She headlined cabaret shows in Paris. She made bold moves in both the US and Thailand as an actor. She stopped being just a K-pop idol. She became a brand, a cultural force, and most importantly, a global connector. And she did it by mastering something I call the power of fearless ambition. This is the mindset of chasing bold, uncomfortable goals without waiting for approval. It's the ability to risk it all, even if people don't get it right away. And Lisa lives it. Just a month after Rockstar, she pivoted and dropped New Woman in August of 2024. A bilingual collab with Rosalia. This time, the sound was intentional, sensual, and powerful, more experimental and feminine. Yet again, fans were divided. Then came her final single of the year in October, Moonlit Floor. All three tracks were successful on charts and performance-wise, but fans were confused. What is Lisa's sound? What's her brand? Truth is, Lisa was figuring it out too. And she did something brilliant. In early 2025, Lisa released her debut album, Alter Ego. And the title said it all. Instead of forcing a singular identity, she gave fans every version of herself: bold, feminine, experimental, and international. She allowed listeners to explore her world and decide which version they connected with most. This wasn't indecision, it was strategic openness. That's why I believe Lisa is making the most creative and fearless choices of any Blackpink member right now. Being one of the most loved and successful members from day one, she had the most pressure. If she followed fan expectations blindly, she could have boxed herself in. Instead, she took the heat. She bet on herself. Every move she made, from launching her own label, to her stage choices, to her fashion presence, was a calculated attempt to disrupt the norm. And it's working. Although she is still making some choices that are not 100% the best choices an idol or an artist should be making, if I'm honest. I talked about this in a previous video, how Lisa lost 99% of her fans. You can go check it out after this video. She's doing all that, but somehow, still making a name for herself and building a remarkable brand for herself in many unique ways. She became the first K-pop idol to perform at the Oscars. She shut down Coachella. She trended over names like Rihanna and Zendaya at the Met Gala. Lisa isn't just a pop star anymore, she's a global visionary. Of course, not everyone gets it right now. Some of her choices may hurt her brand temporarily. But Lisa is playing the long game. We're not very clear what she is chasing yet, but I'm sure with the next comeback or mega move, a clearer image of who this new Lisa is will be presented. The lesson to take from Lisa here is this: don't wait to be crowned. Walk in already knowing you're royalty. Be bold, be global, be unpredictable. Just like Lisa, she has done everything an idol wasn't traditionally allowed to. She broke the norm and her influence is growing rapidly. But if Lisa roared, Jennie whispered, and somehow both were equally deafening. With the launch of Haute Atelier, Jennie didn't just step into the fashion space, she redefined every bit of it. Her Met Gala appearance is proof of this. You see, Jennie has a mindset that's just very different and uniquely hers. She quietly, but confidently lives and moves on her own terms. When she does something, she isn't looking to go viral, her plan is always to go timeless. Her brand oozes exclusivity, her music drops feel like hidden gems, and her partnerships aren't just endorsements, they're statements. As the second Blackpink member to go solo after Lisa's last release in October 2024, it felt like Jennie had studied all the lessons, both wins and mistakes of Lisa, and chose to approach things differently. Earlier in 2024, she released Spot with Zico, and it was everywhere. So naturally, fans were excited for more. But again, just like Lisa, Jennie surprised everyone. In October 2024, she released Mantra, her first solo single post-YG. The music video was iconic. Each scene paid homage to Blackpink's legacy, symbolizing the personalities of each member: wild and bold for Lisa, blonde and warm for Rosé, elegant and classy for Jisoo, and sexy and feminine for Jennie herself. It was brilliant and most fans loved it, but the appreciation didn't last long. The previous year saw a massive hate train on Jennie for starring in a Western TV series, The Idol, and fans were furious of her being too westernized. At this point, the hate train from The Idol still lingered. Some said Mantra was too far from K-pop. The backlash, frankly, was silly, but brutal, and then the comparisons to Lisa began. The judgment returned. And so Jennie took a break and disappeared for a while. But if there's anything you should learn from her, it's this: Jennie has mastered the art of making you wait. In a culture obsessed with speed and immediacy, that's her superpower. While Lisa chose the spaghetti-on-the-wall strategy, try everything and see what sticks, as I discussed earlier, Jennie chose a different and unique path. One I call the power of quiet influence. And yes, I talked about this in a previous video, which a lot of you loved. Thank you so much for the love and support. Instead of focusing on forcing an image on her fans like every artist does when they try to rebrand, Jennie decided to let people see her, understand her, feel her, and know her for who she really is. Because during Blackpink's 7-year career, she was often the most unfairly hated member. And yes, a lot of fans didn't know who she was for real, they just believed what they saw or what they were told. So going solo with that reputation was a bit risky, as we saw with the fans' reactions to Mantra, her solo debut in 2024. So Jennie made a smart move: win back the love, and quietly influence them to love her for who she really was and who she was becoming. So she showed up, not just with music, but with intentional presence. All through late 2024 and early 2025, she started doing interviews, appearing on variety shows, letting people discover who she really is. Not the headlines or the edits, or the inauthentic and fake news we see everywhere on YouTube these days, but the true her. And it worked. By the time 2025 arrived, fans felt her more. We knew her and we wanted more. Her releases in 2025, from Zen to Extral to Like Jennie, Soul City, Love Hangover, and every single of one of them, although all different from Blackpink's original sound, yet fans loved and appreciated them. Because we weren't just listening to music this time, we were listening to someone we could finally understand. Take me, for example. I wasn't a diehard Jennie fan before 2025. I liked her music, but I didn't get her. I didn't understand the hype, or the hate, and so I never cared. But the moment she showed up as herself and tried a quieter approach of showing who she was and gave us a reason to care, I stayed. And I became a fan. Her influence became so undeniable and powerful that she was crowned the most loved idol of 2025. And it all started not with a scream, but with a whisper. What can you learn from Jennie here? It's simple: you don't need to be loud to be legendary. Presence is a currency. Spend it wisely. Check my previous video, The Jennie Psychology, for more depth on this topic. But while all this was happening, Rosé was still and just watching. She never pivoted, she just evolved. You know, the fact that Rosé was the first member to be invited to the Met Gala despite not being the most famous or influential member says a lot. But fans don't pay attention to subtle signs, and that's what Rosé uses as a superpower and an unfair advantage. I'll explain. While others leaned into spectacle, Rosé leaned into soul. Whether you agree or not, Rosé and Twice Jihyo are two of the first real artists to really be themselves and break out of the K-pop mold. They didn't change too much, they simply evolved, stayed true to themselves, and created what they genuinely wanted. That's why, even though their new music might differ from what fans were used to from their group's original sound, people still appreciated it. It may not have been the most popular, but those who get it, get it. Rosé's first two solo tracks, Gone and On the Ground, released before she left YG, were already a sign that she was a true artist. And when she finally had the freedom, she did her own thing, and it worked. Her collaborations with indie artists, stripped-down performances, and refusal to rush her process proved something radical in the K-pop space. You don't have to conform to win. Her music wasn't manufactured for mass appeal. It was built for meaning, and meaning is what sets a true artist apart and makes them stand out in the industry. Her first release in years came in October 2024, a surprise collaboration with Bruno Mars titled APT, and as you already know, it was art in its truest form. Although different from everything Blackpink had done before, it paid homage to their legacy with one simple visual. The music video's background was colored in black and pink. That one song shattered multiple records. It became the only K-pop and song release of 2024 in general to cross 1 billion views on YouTube and on Spotify. It pushed YG stocks to an all-time high. It brought attention from fans who had once overlooked Rosé during her time in Blackpink, because she was the most ignored member at that time. It also gave the label she signed with, the Black label, an identity of its own. And more than anything, it was just heartwarming to witness. She won a Mama Award as well, I forgot to add, with an amazing speech from Bruno Mars.
감사합니다.
Of everything she could have done, Rosé chose soul. She chose music with real meaning. In December, she released her album Rosie, and fans embraced it immediately. Unlike Lisa and Jennie, who struggled briefly to find resonance with fans after their solo debuts, Rosé leaned into what I call the power of subtle rebellion. Rosé's journey is defined by a quiet, yet powerful rebellion against the expectations of the K-pop industry. She didn't rush into any mold. She carved her own path, embracing artistic freedom and letting her music evolve beyond trends. What made her rebellion so impactful was how subtle it was. She didn't announce it. She lived it. Through indie collaborations, acoustic sets, and raw vulnerability, Rosé let the work speak. She didn't chase attention. She chased meaning. Her rebellion wasn't about rejecting the industry. It was about reshaping it to fit her. While the industry pushed for constant production, Rosé reminded us of something timeless. Slowing down and staying true to your craft can have a greater, lasting impact. She showed us that sometimes, the greatest rebellion is quiet. It's not loud or flashy. Sometimes, it picks up a guitar, sings softly, and dares to walk a different path. I didn't have to think twice about APT. It wasn't so westernized that you'd say she was going western. And it wasn't overly K-pop either. It was an artist evolving, gracefully. And that's why fans resonated with every single song in the album. Number 1 Girl, Toxic Till the End, and the rest. Rosé was always a genius, just waiting for the right time to shine. And when the time came, she didn't just perform. She proved she's an artist. A phenomenal one. The lesson from Rosé is simple but powerful. Stay soft. Stay different. There is power in not fitting the mold. As Blackpink's strategy painted a blueprint for everything they'd done while with YG, as I explained in the intro of the video, it also influenced how they moved during their solo careers. The UNI of the group had always been the last to go solo. Even during Blackpink's most active years, Jisoo, despite being the main visual and the group's silent magnet, moved with deliberate precision. And she was always the last to make any moves despite being the oldest. Her transformation into a leading actress wasn't accidental. It was a calculated reinvention. And it worked. Let's be honest, Blackpink is a global powerhouse. No debate. But while Jennie, Lisa, and Rosé pursued global dominance and Western appeal, Jisoo, the only fully Korean member, took a different route. If she had followed the same path, she might have succeeded temporarily, but in the long run, she wouldn't have the same staying power. She wouldn't last as long as the other members. So, she played a smarter game. Pay attention, because this is important. Most people just follow trends and try to fit in and do what everyone else is doing, never realizing that they have a unique unfair advantage they're not making use of. Jisoo, UNI, realizing her unfair advantage, did the opposite. She had global power, no doubt. She was the face of Dior in Asia as well as a visual powerhouse, a Blackpink icon. But instead of chasing the global spotlight, she stayed traditional, building power at home first, in Korea and Asia, while using her international appeal to elevate the image of what a classic K-pop idol could be. Let's be real, many of us fell in love with K-pop because of that idol fantasy. Jisoo understood that, and leaned into it. Rather than going the musical solo route right away, she entered the acting world. Millions of people worldwide love Korean dramas, myself included, so she used that built-in global love for K-culture and Korean influence to grow her own influence. She launched her own company, Blissoo, strengthened her fashion impact with Dior, and built a career foundation before even touching solo music, which was the step that both Lisa and Jennie missed and haunted them for some time. Jisoo didn't build in public like the others. She built in silence. She built in private. And when the time came, everything was ready. And that's why she's seen as a professional in the game, not just an aspiring idol trying to make it big in the Western industry. Mother Jisoo is very smart, I should add. Unlike Lisa, Jennie, or Rosé, who had to learn and evolve in front of the world, Jisoo quietly shaped a more refined, professional brand. That's why, even if she isn't talked about as much globally, her name is respected whenever it is mentioned. Her aura is intact. she still carries the idol mystique, and fans adore that. In the long run, that could be her greatest advantage, because if the others ever make a misstep that breaks their idol image, they risk losing the protection and prestige that comes with it. But Jisoo is built to last. Let's talk about what she's been doing. From emotionally resonant K-drama roles to her poise among fashion's elite and finally to the release of an amazing impactful mini-album Immortage, Jisoo isn't trying to be everywhere. She chooses her projects with precision. She proves that subtle charisma outlives hype. In a world where fame screams, Jisoo speaks softly and still gets heard. I call this the power of quiet charisma. Her journey is a masterclass in timing, charm, and elegance. She didn't try to be a singer-turned-actress. She became a storyteller, someone who could hold her own in roles that didn't feel forced. From soft innocence to icy elegance, she left her mark without needing to dominate every screen. Jisoo plays the long game. She waits. She watches. She moves when the time is right. Her public presence feels intentional, not rushed. Like Jennie, she teaches us that success doesn't come from being loud, it comes from being right on time. What she's building isn't hype, it's legacy, and it lasts. Jisoo's lesson is this: let your essence do the heavy lifting. Trust your timing. Your story will be heard if you tell it well. 2024 and 2025 wasn't just Blackpink's year, it was the year Blackpink reminded the world they were always in control. It wasn't about charts or trophies, it was about presence, reinvention, and ownership. Every move felt like a quiet declaration that they were never just idols. They've always been architects of influence. Through four distinct paths, they gave us a rare look at what long-term cultural dominance really looks like. Together, Blackpink turned 2024 into a living case study in modern branding, strategic silence, and purposeful reinvention. They didn't chase headlines, they designed them. What began as a girl group became a global movement. And when that movement evolved, it didn't splinter, it expanded. Each member took a piece of the original legacy and transformed it into something uniquely their own. So in summary, how did Blackpink secretly own an entire year? They did so by defying expectations, by mastering timing, and by rewriting the rules of longevity on their own terms. Your final takeaway from this video is this: whether you're building a brand, launching a career, or defining your space in a noisy world, study Blackpink. Not for the fame, but for the focus. Not for the influence, but for the intentionality. Because what they've done isn't just iconic, it's a blueprint, and we were lucky enough to witness it live. Let me know in the comments what you think and what you've learned from this video. And please like, share, and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss another video like this. I'll see you soon. Take care of yourself.